Oh, where is the noise coming from? Is it raining? Ah,
No,
okay,
it's
it's good.
not. It's not from here.
Okay, it's good now. It's good now. Because it was like somebody was typing something. Okay, I will welcome some of my friends from our viewers from YouTube, and then later on we'll wait for Facebook. Only after the people from Facebook are on, then we'll start our conversation.
All right.
Okay, who is there? Favor Olabode. Hi. Welcome. Okay, who is there on YouTube? Okay, only Favor is greeted us from YouTube. When we go to Facebook now, everybody on YouTube will try to be greeting us. Okay, we are waiting for our technicians to get us on Facebook. We're already on YouTube, but we'll soon go on Facebook now. Were you able to watch my program with mom, with my auntie?
Yes, I was. I watch you almost every day, sir.
Wow. Which one do you normally watch? Do you normally watch the 9 o'clock the 7 o'clock one?
Yes, the 7 o'clock one. Once it's evening, usually I tune in and I watch.
You know, I come out twice a day, like now and then the later one. So which one will you normally watch?
The one I usually watch is this one. This one usually.
Okay.
But later on, probably in the afternoon or in the morning, I watch the one you do later.
Okay. So you come on Facebook, eh?
Facebook for this one.
Okay. And then the other one is YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.
Okay.
Yes.
Who is that? Zumi? Welcome, Zumi. Nice to see you. Destiny, welcome. VCN Media, welcome. Rindegbenro, welcome. Abraham Dawudu, welcome. Babush, what do we have there? We are supposed to be on Facebook now. Okay. All the YouTube audience, just a minute, guys. We are waiting for Facebook to be on. So just a minute. I think the Facebook will be on any moment from now. Hello, Adiola Diso. Evening. Okay, we just came online now. Okay, it's like we are finally on Facebook. Let me quickly go and greet our family on Facebook. All right, okay. We are here on Facebook too. Here we have Agatha, we have Bumigbenro, we have Helen, Bemilawal, Plutonic, Fonsani, Sunday Yomo, Innocent Bagaje, Daniel Adogo, Awonusi, Oluwatoye, Evelyn Ibeke, Adejumo Champion, Shawibe Bumi, Plutonic, Samara, Solomon, Bisiola, Bingpe, Keide, Amos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rose Roberts, welcome. Yep, nice to see all of you. Please go and share the message today. Go share the message and call in your friends and family and go and tag your family members. Go and share the message. And it's going to be an engaging conversation we're having today because we're going to be talking about one of my most popular books, Who Am I? So, meanwhile, we have Miriam here, Sharon, Shikezi, Ify, Genevieve, Bobby, Blessing. Yep, welcome all of you. Welcome, welcome. Ares Shoka. Yeah, welcome. Florence, Odinaka, Josephine. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Okay, and on YouTube, some people more have joined us. Victor Odion, Oluwasheu, Olagunju. Welcome, every one of you. Now, I'm going to surprise you today because the hero that I have today is a hero that is actually all of you that are watching me, you might probably be indirectly familiar with him a little bit, but you don't know. So it's going to be a surprise, a pleasant surprise for you guys, for all of you, to get to know the hero that is going to be with me today. Now, before I introduce him, I would like you people to reflect back to a few days back on Sunday. Most of you probably watched because I don't know, maybe over 7,000 people have watched my interview with my sister. Do you remember my interview with my sister? All of you, if you remember, let us know. Just write something. Let us know if you remember that interview. Of course, if you saw it, you would never forget that interview in a hurry, because many people have been calling me afterwards and saying, yeah, that they were touched, they were crying, all kind of things. So I want to find out if some of you that are on right now saw that interview or not. Okay, Benro said yes, he did, and many people are saying yes, they did on Facebook. It was quite emotional, yeah. Now, but that's not the interview I'm going back to. I'm not planning to go back to the interview. I want to just use the interview as a bridge. Yes, it was an excellent interview. Yes, many people are saying they remember it was an excellent, emotional interview. Yep, very touching interview. Yeah, good. Now, the person that is with me today is Timileyin Joseph. Now, Timileyin in our language means God, okay, yeah. By Yoruba, I have to do something about my Yoruba by the grace of God. It means that God is backing me up. God is my backup. God, or maybe God has got my back. Now, so this is team, or you could say team, right? Many people would just say team. Team is easy for English speakers or people who are from other countries. So Team Joseph is actually my brother. Team Joseph is my nephew. Is the son of my sister. Can you believe it? Big son for my sister. Almost bigger than me now. Maybe he's actually bigger than me. But this is the son of my sister Laide that, I had the interview with the other day. So, and I remember him, but I remember him when he was small. The last time I was in Nigeria, maybe it was just about 12 or 13, maybe 14. Yeah, something. I think something like that. So it was quite small, yeah, about that thing. So I've not seen him in ages, but he would not remember me. He would not remember me. But thanks to internet and thanks to Facebook, everybody say, "Wow, you must be so proud of your uncle." They're asking you, Tim. They say you must. They say, "Are you proud of your uncle?"
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
Yeah, what I think people would like to know, what did your mom tell you about your uncle, apart from you going to the internet to get him?
Yes, basically, mommy tells me everything she can remember. She basically goes back and tells me everything. So she tells me how you grew up, and basically all she said during the program, how you are a bit troublesome and all that.
Stubborn and heady.
Yes. And I saw the rest actually. When I say I saw the rest, I mean I grew up seeing you everywhere, watching you, reading your books, and so I probably knew the remaining story.
So you were able to follow me. When did you start to follow me more actively? Consciously?
Consciously. On the internet, it was 2016. Yes.
2016.
Almost as soon as you started, I came in.
Wow.
So obviously, I've been reading the books for a while.
Wow. So that is it. Let me start by when you were growing up, why were you not wondering, why is this uncle not coming to visit? Why is he not coming back? Or mom will explain to you that I'm always fighting one enemy or the other.
Yes, I knew because growing up, she explained virtually everything. So I knew I could follow up in my mind. I could understand what was happening. And also, you were fine. So I didn't really see you as somebody that needed to come home and whatever. But I just felt that you were someone that was for the people. You had a lot to do. And you could see the transformation. So I just dealt with it.
Were you is it not a problem for you? I hope that, thank God, I think it's a good thing that you are not using Adelaja, because if you have been using Adelaja, it will have given you a little bit of a problem, maybe both good and bad, because some people will admire you, you'll be a hero on one hand, but on the other hand, some people who don't like me might also give you some. So, but how do you manage that? How do you manage that relation, that fact? But people will not easily know, but I'm sure some people still get to discover that Pastor Sunday Adelaja is your uncle.
My uncle. It has been beautiful, actually. There's no disadvantage, at least until recently when the whole controversy started. That's always good. But when the truth come out, you start to challenge the status quo. So everybody starts to find their place. The ones that stand with the truth and the ones that don't. But so far it has been great. It has been great. In fact, even now, I feel it gets better. Because people say, you say the truth. So there's no doubt about it. Even if they have issues, they know the truth is what comes out. So it has been fine so far.
So you are not afraid. You are not intimidated.
At all, sir. At all. At all. At all.
Because some people were asking me, maybe your family in Nigeria, maybe what you are doing is dangerous for them. Maybe you should be careful so that they will not be afraid and they will not get intimidated.
No, sir. I'm not bothered, because I know God is the one actually moving. So I'm not really bothered. But I just want to fix myself into it, into the whole thing. So, and that's what I've been doing so far. So I'm not bothered at all.
I think I will need you to move back a little bit now. We became too close. Yeah, that's better now, right? That's better. So somebody is writing here, trust me, DSA, we are sure that this person is saying he's not afraid. He's up to the task. He's up to the challenge. Everybody wants to be on the side of the truth. So, and I like that position, since you know that your uncle is doing what is right in the eye of God, at least. And yes, so that there should be no fear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So which one of my books was the first one you read? Did you read Olorunwa, by the way? You didn't get to read Olorunwa.
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did. But I read books before that. I'd read other books.
Okay.
Before that.
Because I only have a few ones here but the ones I see here are very good. I see Olorunwa here.
Yes.
You read this one?
I read.
I see sir. Time is Life.
I love this one.
Very good. It. All right. You read Money Won't Make You Rich?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
You read Nigeria and the Leadership Question?
I did, sir.
This is a very challenging book. Oh?
Very challenging. Very, very challenging.
But if you really read it, you will know that there is answer and solution for Nigeria, isn't it?
In fact, it's just people need to be exposed to certain types of knowledge. I feel because of what we preach in church, that's in Nigeria, and also the society itself is not really helping. So these books help to bring you closer to solution. You now see that, okay, there are chances of us getting out of where we are.
Yeah. And you also read this one. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth.
That's my favorite now. This one is my favorite. This one is what we are reviewing today.
This one is your favorite now.
Now, it's just too much. Just too much.
This one is a revolutionary one. It's a revolutionary book.
Everybody should read that book. Everybody should read that book. I have it here.
Okay.
Everybody should read it. Very, very, very powerful.
Can you believe it that some people who are not Nigerians have read this book from other countries, from Britain, for example, from East Africa, and they are reading these books and they are applying the principle for their own countries. So
it covers everything, not only Nigeria, it covers everything. So I feel everybody should read it, not only Nigerians.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Okay, then you've read this. This is another great one.
Every Christian should read this book. It reminds us of all what Jesus taught. It reminds us of the basics, why Jesus came. It teaches you, Jesus kept saying the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom. And I don't know how we forgot that. I don't know how we got here. We totally,
Especially in the Nigerian church.
I don't know how we got to a place that we forgot the basics and we started dancing around the truth. I don't know. But this book is just too important for every Christian. And even everybody that sees Christianity from afar should also read. Why? Because you discover that people question what is happening in the church today. And this book answers the question. This is what Jesus wants us to do, not what we see. So people get confused and say, this Christianity probably is, I don't know. But when they read this book, they come to see the idea Jesus had. And it's just powerful. It's just powerful. It's just powerful.
You know, some Americans say that this is the best book that has been written in the last 1,000 years.
I agree. I do agree. I agree.
Wow. So what comes upon, I like what you said. First of all, there are two things I like in what you said so far. You've not spoken much yet, but I'm underlining two things. Number one, you said you didn't expect me to be a kind of uncle that will be coming just to visit and things. So you as a family, you people are not, you don't just want to own, control, and monopolize me. That's what I understand, that you understand that this man is for the people, he's for the world, and we must let him be, right?
I was able to understand this early enough because mommy explained everything. That's your sister. She explained everything to me. So I was able to get the knowledge early enough. So I was also benefiting all through. So, I mean, why shouldn't other people benefit?
Beautiful, beautiful. The next thing you had said today is that you also mentioned that I'm not trying to get you to come back and be with us, but I want to key in and be part of this movement. I'm not afraid, but I want to key in. I like that aspect as well. So what do you mean by wanting to key in?
I've started already because with my own little platforms, with whatever I can, I try to push these messages out. That's the videos. Then I also try to, as much as possible, to make sure my friends get this message. Like a friend of mine she's in London actually, and she had issues with discovering herself, basically. And I just told her, why don't you, I can't explain all these things, I can't box it off in messages or in a phone call. So why don't you read this book? And she went on Amazon and started, getting these books. And she got through, she even took the pictures and sent it to me. So she got through, and a lot of people have been trying to push the message out. I feel for now, that's what we can do for now. Let's push the message out. Let people have an idea of the new thing. Not new, but what God is about to do. So I basically do that. Then I make sure my life also is an example of what is coming out. Because that's more important. We discover that it's not as if we are not hearing a message. There's a message out there. There's definitely a message. But there is no practicality. People are not living the life. People are just speaking. People are not living it. So I try as much as possible to exemplify what it is that is on ground. So when I speak, in fact, before I speak, the actions already speak for themselves. So basically that, and also a lot of things I've been trying as much as possible to put a lot of things in order, just to get this message out. Because it's important that light first comes. When light comes, then we can start to, adjust everything. It's important that light comes, knowledge comes.
Beautiful. Now, you also mentioned something about when we were talking about the Kingdom book. You had said that how did we get here? That is, as a church, as a Nigerian church, how did we get to this place where we are right now? Sorry, let me first of all read out what some people are writing here. Okay, they are just saying that, you know, that we shouldn't be, that nobody should be afraid of moving with the name of Adelaja even, or relatives of Adelaja, because, you know, we are doing what is right. That Nigeria, in a country where the Abashas and the Babangidas who did evil are walking around freely and they are not afraid. Talk less of we who are standing for righteousness.
They are being celebrated, in fact. They are being celebrated.
They are being celebrated.
When they come to church, when they come, they sit in the front. They put them right in the front. They are being celebrated. So, what have we done? We speak the truth. So, what have we done? They are being celebrated.
Wow.
Not even, yes.
All right. So when you are talking about that book, you are talking about the kingdom message. So I'm so happy that you got. Oh, is something? I don't know why my voice is coming back. Is it on? Is anything on in your place now?
No, everything is fine here.
Okay. Is it from? It will be from my side. Anyway, when we were talking about the kingdom book, you had said that how did Nigeria get to a place whereby we have totally forgotten the message that Jesus brought? So, you know, I want you to contrast what you are seeing on ground in Nigeria's situation with the way things are supposed to be, you know, vis-a-vis that book.
Yeah. I feel it's just totally messed up. That's the truth. And you know, it starts from the pastors and also the leaders. Not leaders in the sense of politicians, but I'm saying leaders generally, from parents. And you know, there's a mindset that's been put out that you know, we don't question things. We just move with the flow. Once it is okay and it makes, probably there's a little logic, you know, everybody just flows with it. So that has been what has been on ground. So that spilled into the church, basically. It spilled into the church, and we started to impute religiosity into the church. So, and from there, you discover that when it affects the church, because the church is what gives the, you know, it provides the value system to everybody that is seated. So you discover that when people keep hearing this thing day after day, night after night, because there are vigils almost every day, you discover that people absorb what is being said and they just start to act on it. And sometimes these people don't know the impact of what they are doing. They just do it. So when these things happen, you discover that people start to move with the flow. Little by little, the devil creeps in, just like the Bible says. So that is how we start. Well, aside that, we now discover, that's back to the question itself. You discover that Nigeria has, I don't know, we have repackaged the African traditional religion. Let me put it out.
We have repackaged, the church has repackaged African traditional religion.
Exactly. That's the best phrase for what is happening. We just repackaged it. Basically, everything that was obtainable there is what we have today. And everything. And also, then there's now the business aspect of it, where everybody wants to have a church for financial gain. But when you read this book, you see that it is completely different. That's God's plan. God's plan is completely different from what is obtainable. You discover that Jesus Christ came in the flesh for a purpose, just like we are going to discuss as we continue. You discover that Jesus came in the flesh for a particular purpose, and that purpose was to give us a picture of what heaven is like. And when you discover that, you realize that Jesus Christ basically brings heaven to earth, brought heaven to earth, still expects us to bring heaven to earth. So if you have carried that understanding, it shatters what is on ground already. Because what is on ground is, people are still trying to reach out to God, probably through their money or through whatever, probably through prayer or through dedication, or through, they are not accepting God's grace. And God's grace is that He has empowered us already. And our empowerment is to make impact, to be productive in this life, and also to bring God's kingdom down. So the book the kingdom-driven life, does what? It explains everything systematically. And the book is divided into other aspects, which I can't discuss now, but it brings everything to a place where everybody can now, it's like a workbook for every Christian. Everybody can now see that, okay, this is what we ought to do. And Christianity is a movement. It's not a religion. It is a movement. It is a way of life. It's the way you live. So it's not just they've boxed us too much. They've boxed us too much. Now, I'm not blaming anybody. The system is there that has boxed us. But this book kind of changes everything. We start to see things differently. So I feel that is what the book brings to the table.
So
then also,
yes, go ahead.
Then also, the kingdom life. I don't know, the kingdom life, the kingdom message is not being preached. I can say at all. Okay, it's being preached because I hear it sometimes. You hear when they say kingdom, they refer to church. They refer to work for church, do this for church. It's about the church. But that book explains it clearly. I don't want to bring a spoiler. I just want everybody to get the book for themselves so they could read it. Everybody should please get that book. Everybody. Christian, you need to get it. Everybody. Yes.
Now,
so
you must be feeling a little bit, because I cannot imagine myself having the understanding that you are having now, and then living in a country like Nigeria and seeing what is obtainable there. It's the direct opposite of what God intends. So how will you, it's like, you remember the Bible says about Lot, that while he was in the Sodom and Gomorrah, he was dwelling among the ungodly, and his soul was suffering, or what does it say? His soul was being tortured, because he was among the wrong people. So when you are in that Nigeria, and I know you are living just by Canaan land, so you are living in Ota, near Canaan land, and you are seeing what people are celebrating. They are celebrating glorified paganism. They are celebrating, syncretism. They are celebrating the kingdom of one man, idolatry. And you are seeing all that just before your eyes. And you know what you know. You understand this thing that is going on. How does that feel like? How do you survive? How do you juggle that?
Yeah, this is like a soul struggle. It's a struggle of consciousness. Everybody you meet carries another aura, every day. Sometimes, even especially for an elderly person like my mom, she almost cries. In fact, many times she cries. You see people in slavery, and this is not this is not chains. This is slavery of the mind. People have been sold out completely. I see people, sharing tracts, not tracts that will not tracts that will lead you to heaven, not tracts that will lead you to the kingdom, not tracts that will make you effective, not tracts that will transform you, but tracts that will lead you to the church. So behind the tract,
another bondage.
More bondage is just a system that enslaves the mind. And I see this every day,
Wow. You know what, guys? I don't know why his telephone, his connection. Okay.
A few friends.
Yes, go ahead. You say you see this every day.
Yes, I see it every day. I have a few friends that, I try, the most important thing I feel is to, if, because if you don't carry the light, you discover that these people just shoot it off. It is what is obtainable everywhere. In fact, I hear that because I had an opportunity to go to the South, that's to Bayelsa, Port Harcourt, Warri, that's Delta State. I discovered that we are a lot better here. There is just
it's even worse there.
Completely, especially Warri, they are finished there. It's just God. According to the plan of man, they are gone. But only God can really, through his people, obviously, through us, can really make an impact. Down there, you see manipulations that are even a baby should not fall for.
But I heard that is what is obtainable in Edo State, Benin. But I didn't know. I know that Benin and Delta is the same area.
Yes. Benin, Delta. When you go south, you see the same thing.
So, with this kind of understanding you have, which is, I'm so happy that you have, I'm listening to you and I cannot believe that you are living in Nigeria. I cannot believe that you are living in Nigeria because people I've met who think like this are people who are my disciples that I know, normally in Europe, America, all over the world. But, I'm not sure that Nigerians have had enough time to read enough of my books and to listen to enough of my message to be able to think like this. So I'm so happy that, you are already so advanced in your understanding like this. This is very, very pleasant. But how do you find yourself in the campus, for example, among other Christians? So they will be looking at you as just a regular Christian like themselves. But then when you look at them, you are seeing that they are just doing religion. And so how are you able to, is it easier in the campus than in the society, or how does that go?
Okay, the truth is, in campus is more difficult. That's just the simple truth. It's much more difficult. But one thing I don't know, for me, all my time in school, I was quite quiet and I was just on my own. Usually, I don't go to campus fellowships or all those things. Why? Because you discover that it's better to live a lie than to live in the simulation of the truth. These people make it, they mix the truth up with lies. So it looks kind of presentable, but it is just a lie. So usually what I do is I stay apart. And I've been out of school for, what I mean by out of school is I finished, that's my first degree about 4 years ago. So I've been, out of the system. But really, I feel for any Christian that carries the light and goes to the campus and joins a fellowship, it makes it worse. It just makes it worse. Because if you stay at home and, you gather your people like I used to do then, you gather few people that think alike, probably, at that time, we didn't have the understanding we have now. So we'll just discuss the Bible, how it should be. And usually it was more like complain and all that. We just knew something was wrong at that time. I'm speaking 4 or 5 years ago. We knew something. These things are not right. In fact, when you carry the Bible and you read for yourself, just the New Testament, you discover that something wrong with what is happening. This is more like a business. This is just glorified religion. Something is wrong. So, for me, in fact, if I would advise anybody that, any student, I would say, gather people of like mind. Take books. Pick your Bible and read for yourself. Because if you go to those fellowships, they don't save you. They just enslave you more. That's just the truth. So, for me, I know God had a purpose. He had a plan. So, it just helped me to stay away from such, because those gatherings don't actually make you better. That's just the truth. They don't make you better. They just make things worse.
You know, there is a guy who was like, who God also protected, like he's protected you now. He's now in America. His name is Osaro. He always comes to my program, he and his wife, Adeshola. Yeah. So, and he came from Nigeria already like that. So when he got to America, he didn't even go to any church. He started a fellowship, and that's how God has been able to protect him until he met me. So I'm now looking at you and I'm saying, how can somebody be in Nigeria and survive? I know maybe your mom could help you, but your mom was at home, you are in the campus. How could somebody survive that campus manipulation? I mean, even my disciples that are here now, they couldn't survive, they couldn't escape that religiosity of Nigeria. Almost nobody could escape it.
Sir, the truth is, like I said before, I was also being swayed a bit. But I feel God was the one that was in charge. He knew, obviously, he knows today he knows the future. So he knew exactly what was going to happen. But the truth is, I was being swayed also. There were times that people would drag me to church, church in quotes, and, I was being swayed by different, and you discover that where do you see the worst people in campus? You meet them in campus fellowship. Or you meet them in church, basically.
No.
Yeah. Because they are perfect pretenders. Perfect pretenders. They know how to, it's like acting. They could act perfectly when it comes to things of, when they're among the brethren, in quotes, and when they step out, they do drugs, they do whatever, just anything you could imagine. They do everything horrible that you could just imagine. So it's just, that's why I said it's better to just stay on your own. And I luckily for me, I discovered this very early. And also, I attended a private school. I feel that also helped me. I attended a private school that was, the apostolic, the apostolic faith. Is it the apostolic faith?
Yes.
The apostolic
faith.
Yes. That's the church that owns the school, so to say, Crawford University. So there, it was a lot better. You can't compare it to schools, public schools like Unilag, and so they could still, cop these things. But still, sir, I always tell mommy that the temptations and the box, the metrics is almost the same thing with when you are outside, but probably when you are in life. Because it's just the same thing. It's just that now you have to hide yours perfectly. You have to be a good pretender. And when you come out, when you are able to come out of your box, you do whatever you want to do. So it was just God.
Wow.
God be the glory.
Okay, but now, like, you are living in Ota, just by the door of Winners Chapel. When you see all that, I mentioned it. What's going on in your mind? Because I mean, it's like a mass psychosis. It's like a mass madness. Millions of people or thousands of people are rushing, and they are blind. They've lost it. And how do you look at that?
I thank God, because now what happens is that it gingers me, it inspires me more. In fact, when I want to get distracted, these are the things I see every day, sir, every day, and it awakens me, to the fact that I have to get myself together, because you see these things every day. I feel God helped me to turn it to a positive. Now it's like it spurs me now to act. But sir, when you see these things, sometimes I cry. Because when you see people in darkness, rejoicing in darkness, celebrating in darkness, these people are being ripped off every Sunday, every weekend, these people stand outside in the rain, in the sun, sharing tracts. All they do is tell people, come to church, come to our church, come to our church. If they give you their tract and you don't and you say probably I'm not coming or I can't make it, they snatch it back on you. That is so when you see this thing every day, you just get, you feel bad. I feel the way God feels, because I feel that God must feel so bad seeing his people so enslaved. And the thing is, when you go and meet them, especially when you go and meet them based on human understanding, when you tell them this is wrong, or how about, okay, why don't you do this? They tell you, they say we should not read anything. They say we should not do anything. They say that is what, they are, this is enslavement. They enslave people, and it's the mind, not the body, it's the mind. So when I see all these things, I feel so bad. But I've come to realize also that what is happening, the revolution that is happening, that God is igniting through you and through other men, is really having a serious impact on people. It might seem as if it is not yet there, but you know what light does? No matter how little, light, no matter how little, even if it's a candle light, it has its impact. So I've seen the fact that people now know at least the tithe issue. I went to a program that was on Monday, and this program, there were a lot of pastors, about probably 100 pastors, and they were meeting. Yes, they were meeting. I was helping them organize their system and whatever. So they were meeting and they were talking, and so I was listening. And I came to realize that they mentioned you, sir, that day. They mentioned, because at the end of the day, you discover that this thing is having its impact because God is pushing it, because the truth is pushing it. So people are listening, people are following from afar, because their papa and their whatever told them, don't listen and all. But the truth is, is the truth. So they have no choice. God exists, God lives in the truth. So whether they like it or not, they are exposed. They just have to listen. They just have to listen. So that is what I see. And I don't know. It's just painful that these men, I don't know how, probably because of time. I don't know, probably because of time, they've been able to capture the minds of people. Just like slavery, like somebody was saying it recently, that was a circular artist, was saying it recently that, slavery now is just like, it's like a choice. Because people have been enslaved for so long that it gets to a point that by themselves, they just feel there's no other way. That's what they see everywhere. So you coming to the scene and bringing something new is like, okay. Now there's an option. So he provides an option. And, that's how it starts. When they see an option, they feel, okay, since this is an option, let's see it. Even if it's to criticize it, let's just watch it. Let's see what this person has to offer. And, by God's grace, it's the truth. So the truth captures their mind. So, yes, it might seem as if there's not much, but the truth is, people are getting, God is out to deliver his people. He will take back his church from these people. These religious cabals, as I would prefer to put them, I would prefer to use that word, or that phrase.
Yes. So you are how old? I'm so impressed that, how old are you?
I'm 24 now.
24, and you are reasoning like you already understand what Adeboye doesn't understand, what Oyedepo doesn't understand, what all these big papas and daddies in Nigeria don't understand. This is a great hand of God upon your life. I am so impressed the way you are talking. But in fact, I was thinking I should bring you to Europe or to America, but by listening to you now, I think I should just keep you in Nigeria. I will come and meet you over there, because we need people like you. Someone who is good-looking, handsome, eloquent, who understands the kingdom of God like you. We need people like you to stay in Nigeria and to help us bring this light. Because the Nigerian situation now more than I do, more than, people like us who will be coming from Europe and from America. But we will need the help of people like you who are well-developed, who are well-equipped. Because I have a problem that I'm concerned for Nigerians that, because of this data, that not all of them have access to be able to digest, my all the information that is coming. But I see that you are able to do it. So if you are able to do it, it means somehow we will be able to raise up Nigerians, even from among Nigerians too.
Yes, especially because God is backing this movement. So it is, and sir, there's a trend here that I would like to speak about it, because I discovered that all my colleagues, I'm talking of my schoolmates that we went to school together or we served together, that's NYSC and all that. I discovered that most of them are either abroad, that's probably in the US or in the UK, or some of them go as far as close as Ghana. They just want to escape. They just want to escape the reality on ground. Most of them, these people are educated, and not just educationally, also socially, they are socially educated. So they know that something is wrong. So rather than wait and try to solve it, they are trying to, escape, trying to run away. So, because of this trend, you discover that the smartest people, that's when I say smartest, that the people that are socially equipped, educationally equipped, spiritually equipped, they want to live. So we now have the people that probably are, enslaved in the mind, induced by probably through drugs or through religion, because that is like the opium of the people, religion. So we have these people remaining. So that is also a challenge. The challenge of people not wanting to face the reality. At the end of the day, they go out and, do all sorts of things. They are not fulfilled. But they would rather stay out, probably because of the comfort and all of that things. They would rather stay out than face it headlong. This is what we are, the solution carriers. We have to solve this challenge. Like this book, it makes you understand that, God is not going to come down. God is not going to come down.
This one.
Yes. God is not going to come down. We are God in the flesh. God has put himself in us through his spirit, that's through the Holy Spirit. And we are the ones to bring this solution. So when people run away, I just smile because I know that this is where there are problems. And where there's problem, there is success, there's basically when there's problem, there's solution. This money that they are running for, that they are running to get, you discover that there's too much money here, down here. In fact, why people look at us and say, we are so blessed, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. So this is also a challenge that we have.
I'm sure mommy will bring my book. Where there is problem, there is money.
Yes, I've spoken to her that she should try as much as possible to bring as many as possible.
And then there is another one, problem, your shortcut to prominence.
Yes.
So
I look forward to all this.
Yes, actually, as soon as she makes all the selections of the books, we can even send them there before she comes. So you begin to read before mommy arrives.
I will appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
So, but you have mentioned mental slavery.
Yes, sir.
Several times, because people don't even think about it, that church has become slavery. But you put it very well, because people think slavery is only physical, when chains are in your hand. But you put it very well. You said, can you describe what you mean by this new slavery that is overwhelming Nigeria through religion?
It all started with the slavery itself. That's the one where we were in chains, And, it spanned for, we know how long it spanned. It spanned for so many years. So this slavery, the impact of this slavery mixed even with our not only with religion, but even with, how do I put this now? Even with our culture. So you discover that even an African, this is not a matter of being a Christian or being a Muslim or whatever. An African, there is no affection. You can hardly see a Nigerian man hold his wife in the street and walk in the street. And
not even somebody else.
Not even so his wife or even his mother.
Or the sister.
Or his sister. There's no affection. And these things, I came to, I read a few books about the slavery situation. And I discovered that some of these things, they are as a result of, the mindset that occurred. It was a resetting of the mind after, the slavery. So these things so it became part of our culture. It also, entered into religion. Now, not Christianity, because Christianity is obviously not a religion, but it mixed with religion. So the slavery mindset, which one of it is that you don't question things. You don't question things. Down here, you don't question things. You just, especially from an elder, when an elder says, this is it, which, we should respect our elders. They are more experienced than all. But at the end of the day, you discover that even the Bible says not all old men, or not all old men are wise.
Yes.
Yes. You discover that you can't just be following people because because probably they are, I don't know, probably they are old or whatever. So because of that mindset, it's spanned into everything. It's into politics, it's everything. So from there, it also moved into Christianity. And this mindset is what, even if obviously, sir, you are well versed in the slavery experience, and you know that they used indirect rule to rule us. That's the British. When they were ruling us, they were using indirect rule, and this indirect rule was a system where they were using our own people, the authority of our own people, black people like us, to rule us. So this mindset has been like that. So I feel that it's not so new. It's not so. It was very easy for them to throw it at us and we'll catch it. So this is what the idea that these people also brought into Christianity. They started selling the same idea. Started telling us that most of these people, what do they have on people? What do they have on people? He's an elderly man. You must respect this person. You must, yes, respect, but you have to also question things, because questioning is the beginning of thinking. Once we start to question things, we start to think. We start to say, okay, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. But you see, questioning is shut up. In fact, what we do here is you listen to messages, like probably a Sunday sermon, and it's just the pastor giving us everything, and it's just one man. Everybody is listening to him. He's just pouring out his mind. It could be anything. It could be anything. He just pours out his mind. Whatever it feels like, he just tells us, and he expects that everybody should accept it. So that is what we have here. That's what is obtainable here. Everybody just does what they like. So when that system is on ground, then you now infuse it into Christianity, into life. You discover that people now don't really know, they don't really know the difference. So when most times, sir, when you speak, people struggle. You need to understand that people struggle so hard because this is my grandfather did this thing, my great grandfather did this thing, people struggle so hard with this truth. They are like, what are you saying? You want to bring the European idea, but this thing is not European. This is just the truth, But they struggle so hard. So this mental slavery, we have to see it beyond just people just being wicked. They themselves, they are riding on. I'm speaking of the pastors and the Jews and these people. They are riding on what was already on ground. They are trying to just build upon it. In fact, now they've built upon it. We see what they have. They have everything, basically, except God's backing. So they have everything in place for them. And and that's why even secular people that are not Christians, they don't want to interfere, because they know that if they interfere, it affects them. When you start bringing a system where people question things, that means we start questioning the government. That means we start questioning the government, we start questioning everything. And when people start thinking that there's problem for the slave master. So this is the system we have on ground. So God just God just puts people like you, sir, and other people to just spark the light. You see, the truth is, what they don't understand is this. Probably they are not vast in history. Probably they should go back. Once things like this start, you can't stop them. It's not possible. This is the truth coming out. God is out because this is the atmosphere of God, the atmosphere of truth. God is coming out once again to take back what has been taken by man. So whatever they do, whether they, I don't know what they intend to, but I know that they are trouble because tide is going down. All the things that they use to manipulate people, they are saying that it can't last long, and that's why they're having problems with people like Freeze and all those people. But so no matter what they do, if they like, let them. I don't know. God has come back to take his people. God has come back to save his people. And as we already know, any critical thinker knows that God doesn't come. He already has us. So we are the ones that will make this impact. So I don't know, mental slavery, it's no matter how long it spans, one day, people will be set free. And I know this is the time. By God's grace, this is the time.
Now, you are saying that from your own understanding, even though what we are seeing, what we are doing, I'm even not in Nigeria yet. I'm very far. And yes. I'm not even sure. 2 years ago, I used to say nobody knows who I am in Nigeria. But within the last 1 year, it's like now more people are getting to know who Sunday Adelaja is. But, yes. But more importantly, they are getting to know the message.
Yes.
So
you see, sir, what is happening now is that people have been lied to. The truth is, whether we like it or not, this enslavement, this slavery is affecting people adversely. Whether we like it or not, it's affecting people adversely. People are being ripped off. I know somebody that just lost his dad, my friend in the church. He just lost his dad, and this boy got to, he was crying on the day the man died. On the day they were burying the man, and I asked him, what exactly are you grieving over? And he told me, he said, I've been ripped off for over 5 years in the church. You see, so at the end of the day, you discover that people are being enslaved, and they can feel it, even though they might not know that they are being enslaved. They have the feeling that something is wrong. So, sir, as you came, it's like every denial. That's the most predictable of human responses. Everybody will want to. But now people are saying that is the truth. Somebody was challenging that Daddy Freeze recently, and the person was saying so many things. And at the end of the day, the man just started speaking the truth. The truth was enough. The truth was enough to make the impact. So I feel, sir, that I know God has empowered you enough for what you are going to. So let's just keep on pushing. And that's to everybody that is listening to us and watching us, out there. Let's just, if you are with the truth, stay with the truth and just keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. That is what they call breakthrough, not what we will break through. I believe God will break through, and we'll be able to get to, secular. We'll be able to get to reach everybody finally. But for now, the truth is, the impact is already so much. So much already. So much.
But now, I'm sure you read I'm sure you knew what I stand for and my theology and my teachings, and you started reading my books before my name started going all over the place.
Before all this. Nothing is really new to me. You see, that time, even as a kid, and everybody that that remembers this, what I'm about to say, will know exactly what I'm saying. Even as a kid, when I would sit in churches and you will come and minister, you as an invited guest, we will be invited also. So you will sit down, on the pew and we'll watch you minister. It was sounding, what is happening? I'm talking 10 years ago. So I used to wonder that what is this? This is, but I knew that it was right. That was I knew that what was coming was superior. Let me just put it that way. I knew these ideas were superior. But the cage that we had found ourselves, that's religious cage, it made us struggle a bit, especially me, I was like, what is this? As a kid, sir, I was probably, this time I was saying 10, 12, but I could remember. And I felt, and I would sit back and think on those things you say. And I would think, as a kid, and I would ask mommy, I would ask people, and when I ask people, especially pastors at that time, I'll ask them, and the reply I would get will just be so disappointing. And I would say, what is happening? So from that time, my mind has been sparked. And also growing up, I grew up with almost all Uncle Kola's books. If you know, almost all his books are here. So I have been the type of person that, even though in school maybe I was not boom out there, but I've been somebody that always reads. So I've seen that, when they say when you read other people's books, you kind of borrow their brain and you borrow their ideas. So I've seen that there's more, there are other perspectives than the reality I see. So that has really helped me, So the truth is, at the end of the day, God's people will be set free. Whether no matter the struggle, I know for now, it might seem as if, just like David and Goliath, the whole mockery was from Goliath's end, but we saw what happened at the end of the day from the Bible. So I feel that God's backing, David with God, was enough. So I feel God is with us. And,
because that's the thing I wanted to ask, because we will still see the explosion of this revelation, but even the little spark we are seeing now, compared to when nobody knew Pastor Sunday too much, but you already knew by when you were small, you were listening. But now that everybody started talking about it, what do you feel? Do you feel vindicated a little bit that, oh, thank God, this thing is now getting to the broader population?
Yes, sir. The picture they paint of Christianity and of pastors is that they are pretenders, basically. Because I won't say they are holy and they are not. Sir, the most important thing I have gained from reading your books, and I've gained from you, basically from your books and your messages, is that we have to be practical as Christians. The church has to be practical. We as individuals, we must be practical. We can't just be, there's too much theory, sir. By God's grace, you have written so many books. There are books around here, everywhere. In fact, we have these churches, they have their bookshops. So there are books. But when you take their books, sir, and you read them, once you close it, just step outside your house. It is a different reality. Because these books do not apply. These laws do not apply to real life. They are not kingdom laws. They are not laws at all. People just have ideas and they write them down. People just think, I don't know, they just, whatever, you just put them down. So now that you are out there, I just feel at last, God has vindicated me, because God has, God, this is what I've been saying, that this man is not like your people. Generally, the people that you know. This one is different. When you listen to him, it doesn't just change. It's like most of your books, there are books that are practical, that we could actually pick and start making impact. Like I take your books and I change something. And so and everybody I've introduced or I've said, there's a particular brother, he says, who is this person? He should come to Nigeria now. Please let him come to Nigeria. People take it and it transforms them. So I don't even need to talk much. I just say, will you read it? They'll say, will you have time to read? They'll say, no problem. I'll say, okay, go ahead and read. And nobody reads and says, they know that something practical is on ground. So I just thank God. God has really vindicated me. That's just the truth. But because I've been speaking, in my own little way or about you, but everybody, that time you were more of an European hero. You are reaching out to the people in Europe. And what makes you more believable is the fact that you, sir, you made impact among Caucasians, among white people. White people, these people are the people that, basically they colonized us. At least we know that. So these people are the hardest people in a communist country. Not just a country that at first it was all religious. Before the 80s revolution and the whole thing became 80s. So these people knew what was on ground. So for you to be accepted there, it makes you more believable. What you carry more believable, that it works. This is not just theory. This is practice. This is practical, that can actually be applied, that can actually work. And I think that is the most important thing. We hear so much. Every day there's a message. In fact, you go right beside me here 5 times. 5 times. Probably they have 5 services or so. There are 5 messages. Usually the same thing, but there is always a message. But what is the impact of the message, sir? How can people? In fact, somebody was testifying to me. That was when I went to serve, and he was a friend. He was telling me that he discovered that once he steps outside the church building, he says reality just dawns on him. He says it's as if all what they've been saying there is, they've just been speaking to themselves. He's moved, though, his emotions are stirred up, he's the oh, hallelujah, amen, all those things. Then he steps out, then reality comes. So he says, once he steps out, once he goes to work on Monday, everything that they've said on Sunday, because these things are not practical. These are not things that you can apply to your life. So once he steps out, that's all. That's the end. So these are the things that we see. So I just thank God that God is doing this now.
You know your second uncle, Bode Awolana.
Yes, sir.
You know Uncle Bode? Do you know Bode Awolana?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So we were born at the same time almost. So because we grew up together, and he knew that I'm a pastor. But he told me, this is his own confession, and he has it recorded somewhere, or he wrote it. So when I used to come to Nigeria earlier on, when you were about 2, 1, 3 years old, 4 years old, so he used to drive me and take me all over to preach. But he would not stand there and preach. He would not listen to me. He would not sit down in the church to listen. He would just be selling my stuff. He would just be selling my stuff outside. Because he was thinking that this Sunday now, what will he say? So he was just thinking like that this Sunday now, what will he say? And then he said he had another deception, that he was already going to the best church in Nigeria. That's what he said. He said that is the way he has been brainwashed, that there is nobody in this world that can say anything better than what he had already heard from his pastor. There's nothing new anybody can say. This is the way Nigerians are thinking.
It's a business down here. It is a business down here. That's why everybody does it. Everybody wants to start a church or start, it's a business. They package it in such a way that, it's more of marketing. They make it seem as if ours is the best. They show you and they tell you, we have God with us. So they tell you, we have this, we have that, we have this. Once you join us, you'll be taken care of. But they want to rip you up. They want to take the little you have, they want to take it from you. That is the real agenda. But they package it in such a way that you feel they will offer you the best. Yes, just like a business. And so that is why, and the agreement is this. You do your own, let me do my own. So nobody wants to say the truth. So some of them are quite aware that this is not the right thing happening, or this is not the right thing. But because of what they will gain, they kind of let it slip. They just let, and compromise comes in because of that. So I understand.
Yes.
I understand. I know what Uncle Bode is saying, because everybody tells you that this place is the best. Don't worry, just stay here. Stay here with us. This is the best. So I understand. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
So what happened to him was, he said one day they bought my books up so far, so he decided to come and listen to the message. When he now came to listen to me for 1 hour, I saw that because after I finished preaching, people were talking to me. I was signing some things, but they were just, he couldn't get out of this. I said, it's 2 hours. We are sitting down there. What's happening? He said he got into the car. He just said, "I have to repent." Repent of what? He said, "I feel like getting born again all over again." He said, "Today is like I am getting born again all over again." And he is the one that said that there's nothing new he could hear, that he already knew everything. He is now broke down. He said, I've wasted my life. I had all these things in my house and I was not reading, not listening. So that is when he couldn't listen. Now he has another problem. He still goes to church, but he cannot listen to his pastor again. He said these are just people. He said he cannot listen to anybody again in Nigeria. That is what his problem now.
I feel that is the next challenge. Once you hear the truth and you see that this is the truth, when you hear a lie, when you hear, you are aware now that something is wrong somewhere. So I feel, because it got to a stage, sir, mom is right there with you. It got to a stage that I could not take it anymore. It was just contract. I thank God that, where I am, the church that I am here, and, God has been, helping us. He has been moving with us, and he has also been teaching us properly, probably because of, what we're exposed to. So, but once you step out, probably I go and visit somebody, or during my service, so I found it difficult to listen to some things I was listening to. It got to a stage, I just said, look, I'm not going again. It was just too much. And this is, I feel sad because this happens every day. Last Sunday it happened. This Sunday. I don't know. I wonder how Jesus must be feeling. After shedding his blood, look at what they are doing to God's people. It's just sad. But I believe there is hope, that I know that God has, God is the player himself, so he knows exactly what he's doing. So I believe God will bring deliverance to people.
You know what I think, Babosh, please, because you didn't rename the title of yesterday that I said, yeah, but they didn't rename it on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, so you have to control that. And then today, I think we should call this session Kingdom Wisdom from a 24-year-old Nigerian. Because we didn't get to the book yet. Yes. And the time is, we're almost 2 hours, 1.5 hours talking. So we have to come back for the book. But, this one we just call it Kingdom Talk, or Kingdom Talk from a 24-year, because this is just, Kingdom Wisdom, or what did I say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, because I am so impressed, if a 24-year-old guy is reasoning like this, I'm absolutely impressed, because, you're already talking like Anu, who is here, he's 24 as well, and Victor. You're already like them, but they are living with me here. But you are living in Nigeria, and I'm so happy that you are my nephew, because I didn't know that you are even aware of what I'm doing. I didn't even know you are even aware of what I'm doing, really. I didn't even know that you get to see me.
Yes. I've always been, but the truth is, even when the whole thing started, the truth is it was quite difficult, in the sense that, first, the first notion that I got was, don't. You don't need to listen in. You don't need to, especially during that election. That was 2015. Yes,
you follow that?
I know. I was following you at that time, but I was not. It was just watch from afar, for that period. So I was watching from afar, but as God will have it, He brought me closer, and I started. He started with those books. There was a time we spoke, and when we were speaking, you said that I need to read some of your books. I don't know if you remember that time.
No, I can't remember.
There was a time, that was actually I feel the only time we spoke on. You just said, Mommy should give me the phone, and I said, let me just speak to you. And he said, no, I need to read some of your books concerning, we were discussing a particular thing. So and actually those books came 2 weeks later, and I started reading them and all. So at the end of the day, I feel that, God knows exactly what is, and He knows exactly what He wants to do with us. And the truth, sir, is that I'm not the only one that has this mindset or has this, there are actually some other people. That's the truth. And these people, some of them follow you probably on Facebook or I don't know, on Facebook. I'm looking at the Twitter handle too. But most of them follow you on Facebook and whatever. And, they also want to be involved, but they are scared. Fear is the weapon that they use here, down here. Fear. And, it has torment. So people are afraid. They don't want to put their all. They are looking at the fact that what if we lose everything? And that is, you have to get to a stage to be ready to lose everything. So like when Jesus was speaking to those rich men, He always said, give everything away. And that was the beginning of the problem. They could not take it. So it gets to a stage when they know that they have to really drop some things for this movement. But and they are still there, they are still struggling. But I believe that God will select the ones He wants to use, and that's what I believe.
There is somebody, maybe mommy knows the family. It is the children of Bishop Olaleye. I don't know if you know Bishop Olaleye.
Yes, I know him, sir.
Okay.
I've been to his place.
Okay.
I've been to his place. That was a long time ago, but I know him, sir.
Okay. So his children were telling me that they are in their 20s, that they are age generation people now. That there are two things are happening to them. That a lot of them, before I came on now, a lot of them started flirting with atheism. That there is no God, Joe. Even though their parents are pastors, choir, all kind of people, but even though they pretend, they go to church, pretend with their, they do what their parents tell them to do, but in among themselves, they were already flirting with, they call themselves agnostics, atheists, and people, they don't believe in God. But then, this daughter of Bishop was calling me and said, I must talk to you. I said, what happened? She said, I'm right here now in University of Lagos or somewhere with all my friends. We came from university, we are in Ikoyi somewhere, in some places. A lot of young people there. And they are all talking about this Nigerian Pastor Sunday that they are now following. From atheism to following Pastor Sunday. He said there is a movement here. There were about 50 of them. And she was saying, I know him. I know. She was saying, I know him. But they were just among themselves, listening to those things and all that.
Yeah, you know what is happening here? What is happening here is, especially children of pastors, they are having a struggle in the sense that, especially, they will be educated. When I say educated, not just in terms of book, but also they are also socially educated. So they know that something is wrong. They cannot just oppose what is obtainable in the church with what is obtainable in the church with what is being presented on the streets every day, everyday life. So what happens is this: when they discover that, see, this thing will not apply once I step out of this building, that's the church. To them, the church is still a building. Most of these things are not really, digested in them. So they just feel, okay, since it doesn't apply, then they just say, probably there's something wrong with this God thing. Or probably there's something wrong with this Christianity thing. Even I can say firmly, sir, that I got to a stage when I started questioning things. I started questioning things. I started asking myself, the stage of spiritual awakening for me. I got to a place that I had to question even my faith. So I feel we all get to that stage, and I had to question my faith. And one thing I discovered was that Christianity is not even being done right. So this is not even a matter of what I see is not the right thing. So even if I say this, I discover that what is on ground is not even right. If we were to do Christianity according to the Bible, Nigeria will be the exact opposite of what it is today. So when you get to that place and you discover that this is where it is, this is what people have turned Christianity to, then you realize that probably let's still give it a try. And that is what you are bringing, sir. You are bringing the truth, what Jesus Christ actually taught. What Jesus Christ actually taught. Not flamboyance, not the dancing and the ceremonies and the, what they do is like they are trying to commercialize God. God, I will give you something. I'll give you maybe tithe or service. They go to sweep, free. Let's give God something. They believe that by doing it for the church, they are doing it for God. So let's give God something. What can we give God? Okay. They say you can give if you have money, bring your money. If you don't have money, okay, you can sell. Why don't you sell? So, and God will in turn bless you. But we can see we have the poorest people in the world amongst us, amongst our people. And this makes me sad every day. We overtook India. Well, that was this year. And we are far ahead now. So you discover that at the end of the day, it's not working anymore. The whole system is failing. It's clear. Even to the politicians, they know that something is wrong. They know something must be done. Even that's why people like General Obasanjo, doctor now, he's trying his best to probably fix things. Because everybody knows that Nigeria is not working. So it gets to a point that these people see that Nigeria is not working and churches are taking over Nigeria. What is wrong? So I feel that is what steers people. So if they are not rescued fast, they become atheists instantly. Because they just feel that, okay, Christianity is what is obtainable and it's not working. All they do is collect from people. People are not actually blessed. They might be blessed sometimes physically, probably, or financially, but their lives are not blessed. You see people riding nice SUVs, beautiful cars. They ride it on roads that will bring tears to your eyes. And you start to ask yourself, why is it so many churches, but things are not working? So, sir, these are the reasons why people at the end of the day just say, you see, if it's church that builds Nigeria, that everywhere we look left, we look right, churches, and things are not working, then probably there is no God. That's the conclusion. As a young person, it's easy to that's a lazy conclusion. You just conclude that. Probably. But the truth is, when you come to see the truth, what Jesus actually taught, the kingdom message, you start to realize that, there is more to this thing that they are not exposing to us. Or they've repackaged, I don't know, it's just different. What you preach is completely different from what we have here. Completely different. Completely different. So, I feel that listening to you saves those people. And that's what I try to do. I don't want to talk much. I just say, see, you know what? Can you listen to this man? Will you read? They will read. I say, okay, take this book. Okay, buy this book. So they go on Amazon and they buy. Because I know that if they don't do something now, people will come. Just like what happened in Russia. At the time, sir, in Russia, there were, people, it was even the children of the priests that stood up and said, enough is enough. And they started, going against their own fathers. So I feel if something is not done fast, all the youths, because majority of them are already drug addicts, or one thing or the other, the devil has captured them with one thing or the other. So if something is not done fast, they will all be lost. But I thank God that God has brought this message. And that's why everybody that is listening, please let us try as much as possible. This is the little you can do. Just try as much as possible to spread this message. Spread this. You might not be able to say much. Just let people get the books, let people get this information, because people are actually the people that you feel that, children of pastors, children of ministers, that you feel that they should take over, the faith on ground. You discover that they have already been swayed. They don't really believe. They sit in church, they play instruments, they dance, they have to support their dad, at least or their mom, since their dads are, they're the ones in charge for now. They have to support them, and they're the ones that provide. So, but deep down, there's a conviction that this thing is fake, this thing is rubbish. So, if something is not done fast or gently, sir.
You have just helped me big time. And let me tell you the way you have helped me, because I've been pondering my mind, why is it that such a large number of Nigerian youth are becoming atheists? I just got the answer from you now, because you said, and you have said it a few times, that in Nigeria, the idea of Christianity and God is church connected, building connected. So those people go to church, they feel God, they feel the presence of God, but once they step out, they know that it's fake, whatever they felt. It's fake, it's finished. And they go to reality, school, class, every day, there is no God again. Then they say that, if this is God, this thing they have told us in the church, why is it not transforming society? All this miracle working power, why is it not working? Why is nothing is working in the street? Nothing. So maybe this is just fluke. So it is easier to actually, if you are having conscience, if you have conscience and truth, it's easier for you to just become atheist and say, the thing is not working now, let me just tell the truth. That is now what is driving people to atheism. I got it. Because they don't know in Nigeria that the kingdom of God is not church. The Nigerian people have made the kingdom of God and church to be one. So that is the deception. So they don't know, if they don't preach the gospel of the kingdom, then that is the doom. That is the end of the church in Africa, in Nigeria.
That's why that book, The Kingdom Driven Life, is too important for everybody. This particular book is just too important. Because if people do not fix themselves into the kingdom, there's a warning even in Revelation, that if people do not fix themselves into the kingdom, you discover that they will be easily swayed. But even by church. So you discover that people will use the church to sway people out of the kingdom. That's the church idea. Because the church is for God. We are the church. We are the church. We are the church, not the building. This, just what I just said now, people it has not yet registered. People say it, actually, but it has not registered. People, they still feel that God is in that building. And that's why they beautify the building so much, to keep people conscious, or let me put it, unconscious, to keep people unconscious of the fact that this building is not God. God. That is the finished work of Jesus Christ. That is why Jesus Christ came, to take God from living amongst bricks, to bring him into us. So once people do not get this is the basics of Christianity. This is the work of Christ, the finished work of Christ. Once you don't know this, how can you understand Christianity? So when that is being sold, and this has to do with simplicity and all these things, when that is being sold to people, you find it very, very difficult to convince them to bring on any other thing. Because people are still thinking, they are still thinking 200 years ago. Before Christianity, before the revival, they are still thinking that way. So when they are still thinking that way, how do you introduce anything new to them? So this kingdom message has to first register in people. The kingdom message is the message of coming alive. It's the message of for God, of being active, of moving out, of touching people, actually, not just staying on the altar, not just staying on the pulpit, touching people's lives. People walk past people Nigeria is messed up. I can't even emphasize this. It's messed up. So people walk past bad roads, poor people, poor neighbors, poor friends. You see a mansion in the slum, well fenced, properly fenced, with barbed wires, with security men, sometimes policemen securing the house. And you ask yourself, sir, won't you come out? Won't you come out of that place that you are? And they come out, you see nice SUVs enter into muddy roads. And you start to ask yourself, what is this? But where do these values come from? They come from the church, sadly. So these values are, so people, their church is beautiful, air conditioned, beautiful, sometimes marbled from top to bottom, everywhere marbled, everywhere awesome. So, people enter and they feel the presence of God, the fake one. Because the presence of God is with us. God is with us. God with us. Jesus Emmanuel. God is with us. So, what is so when this is not yet understood, sir, how do you tell people any other thing? They find it difficult to understand. So that's where we are now. That's why these books must be pushed out. People must Nigerian, the reading culture here is horrible, but we just must try as much as possible to push these things out. And this message is for people that don't read.
It's time, yeah. We are actually,
message,
you know, wow, team, I can't even stop talking to you, even though I've gone beyond the time. And but I enjoy myself thoroughly, and I look forward to be able to doing other reviews with you, including the book review. This is more like introductory, and then from there we'll go to other, maybe even YouTube reviews, messages, and anything. We'll be able to. We are starting the movement. Begin to send this your interview to your friends and to other people. Let them know who you are, and let the revolution begin. Thank you so very much for your time. Thank you for letting mommy go to see me, because she has not been here for over 7 years now, and we have not seen, all this while. Even though she has been praying for me, but God needed me for this revolution. I'm sure she will explain to you why I needed to be here, because I think if I had been in Nigeria, they would have treated me very roughly more than now. So I think God has kept me here for some time to be able to do what I'm doing. But we will be talking more. So thank you. Take care of yourself, and let's spread the word, everybody. Everybody that is watching the program, please share. Go share. Go tag your friends, especially if you are young people in Africa. This interview will be a great inspiration to young people all over the world of Nigerian descent in Europe, America, Germany, everywhere, and especially for those in Nigeria as well. So thank you so much, team. Peace.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It was great speaking with you.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
Amen. Bye.